Welcome to Rocksolid Productions, where in this video we are going to show you, and I mean we are going to show you how to create a great collection of 5 games for the Sega Genesis for under $100. We've got a special guest with us. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Gary here with Rocksolid Productions, and I am joined, I'm thrilled to have her on this channel. Please help me and welcome JLuv. Jen herself is here to help us as well.
Hey, it's your girl JLuv81. I'm excited today to work with Rocksolid Productions to share with you guys my 5 picks of Sega Genesis games under $100.
Now the cool thing is Jen and I have similar backgrounds where we've both been, you see the shrine to Nintendo here? I'm a Nintendo fanboy. When I was, late, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th grade, I actually had a Model 2 Genesis that I got rid of because it wasn't Nintendo.
So, I grew up with the Super Nintendo and occasionally played the Sega Genesis at family or a friend's house. So I did not truly appreciate the Sega Genesis until I became an adult and bought one of my own. So, I had to start somewhere with my collection, and that's exactly what I'm going to share with you guys.
Now that I'm a little bit older, I've got some more disposable income. I not only have a Model 1, but a Model 2 Genesis, the 32X Sega CD. I've evolved my taste. And the cool thing about the Model 1 or the Model 2 Genesis, you can actually get them fairly inexpensively. And if you're looking to upgrade the video quality, you can do so really easily. We'll give you some information later on about the HD Retrovision cables available through CastleManiaGames.com. But no mod required. You can get component video out of here, and it looks a hell of a lot better than composite. Now, if you don't have an existing console and you're looking to do something and you don't want to, you don't care if it's original hardware or not, there's also great clone systems out there that can play the Genesis, like the Mini-Gen HD from GamersTech or the Retrobit Super Retro Trio Plus that'll also do Sega Genesis games. Different price points for all of these, all depending on how in-depth you want to get. Now, that also goes for our games we're going to talk about. Basically, I use an app called GameEye, and with GameEye, it lets me keep track of my collection, and it also lets me know what fair market value is for the games. The prices you're going to hear me reference are based entirely on what's in GameEye, and I found that generally within a couple dollars, it's what I see either on eBay or whether I see it at Live Action Games, my local store, or our local disc replay. So we're going to get started with one of the absolute classics for the system. If you are looking to collect for the Sega Genesis, you need this in your collection, not only because it's their mascot, but also because it's a damn good game. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, you can get these loose for about $5. Box, they're not much more. They're about $10 to $11. And as you can see, my copy here, it does not have a manual. It's just the game and the box. And that is one of the cool things about collecting for the Genesis. Unlike the Nintendo systems that came with plastic or that came with cardboard boxes, these actually have really nice plastic cases, very similar to like what VHS rentals, video cassette rentals back in the day used to have. The graphics are amazing on it, the gameplay is so much fun, and it just takes the original to the next level. Now, some people may prefer the first one because it doesn't have the second character in Tails. I don't mind him. He actually adds to the game for me. So I paid, again, about $10 or $11 for this one here to get Sonic 2 in my collection. Jen, what do you think?
So, my first pick is the obvious Sonic the Hedgehog. $10, complete in box. This became the most popular mascot for the Sega Genesis. You can't go wrong. This is fast-paced, colorful, and a lot of fun to play. This is the very first game I played back in 1991 on the Sega Genesis. You play the role as Sonic, who has to rescue imprisoned animals that became robots by the evil Dr. Robotnik, and also retrieve the Chaos Emeralds.
Jen, that's a great choice. I mean, if you're going to have Sonic 2 in there, you might as well have the original Sonic 1. Both are such great games. They're inexpensive to collect too. Cannot agree with that choice anymore. Now, my next game on here, I love the side-scrolling beat-em-ups. Final Fight, Double Dragon, Both great favorite games for me. And one game that I hadn't played until recently, and it was actually in my tests of the Mega Gen HD from Gamers Tech, is Streets of Rage 2. Such a fun beat 'em up, and it adds a lot more than what Final Fight or what Double Dragon both have on the NES and the Super NES. I love the fact that you can actually go up and down the level quite a bit more. I love the character sprites. The fighting is just, it's great. It's all around fun. If you're looking for something different than your traditional, again, Double Dragon or Final Fight, Streets of Rage 2 is a great way to dive into the genre on the Genesis. Now, loose cartridge, about 18 bucks. In the box, you're looking at about $40. Complete in the package, about $135. So this is one that can get kind of costly, but for the loose cartridge at under 20 bucks, you're still not doing bad. Jen, what's your next game?
My second pick is going to be Disney's Aladdin on the Sega Genesis. This game is pretty much based on the 1992 film and was released in 1993. This version, what I like about this version versus the Super Nintendo version, I personally think the animation is better, probably because the Disney animators actually worked on this one. And also, he has a sword. So unlike the Super Nintendo version, which I really love a lot, it's a platforming game. I love platforming games. He has a sword. So this, to me, makes it the better version of Aladdin. So this is definitely a must-have on the Sega Genesis and one of the popular games.
You know, another great choice. Cannot argue with that at all. Now, for my third game, I'm going to actually go with something that it's available on so many different platforms, going back to the NES and to the original Mega Drive. There's a Super NES version, but there's just something about this version that I really like, and that is Ghouls and Ghosts from Capcom. And this game, just like all of them, super tough, but also I think it really takes advantage of the sound coming out of the Genesis, where it always kind of has that hardcore, that metallic kind of sound. In Ghouls and Ghosts, it just amps that up even further. Graphically, it looks great. The play control is super tight, and again, it is tough as nails. And this is another one, not cheap if you're looking to get a complete in-box one, but you can actually find good deals on the loose carts like I did here. The loose cart on this, you're looking at about $22, $48 with the box, and complete with everything, you're looking up over $300. So that's how great of a game this is. Ghouls and Ghosts, one that you will definitely want to check out if you like that side-scrolling action platformer. It's a classic. Jen, how about your third one?
So my third pick is going to be the 6-pack game for the Sega Genesis. The reason why I chose this, and this is a no-brainer, complete in box, $16. $16, and you have a total of 6 games. So you have Golden Axe, Sonic the Hedgehog, Revenge of Shinobi, Super Hang-On, Streets of Rage, and Columns. So we just pretty much went over Sonic the Hedgehog, and it comes with Sonic the Hedgehog. It also comes with Golden Axe. Golden Axe, you pretty much play 3 warriors with an axe, swords, and it's like a beat 'em up arcade side-scrolling game, and it's a lot of fun. You also have Columns. Columns is a 3 puzzle-based game. One of my favorite games. I used to actually play it on the Sega Game Gear. This is before Candy Crush. Okay, so this is the original right here. It's pretty much the same kind of deal. It has like the 3 shapes, so you got to match the colors and reposition everything. So if you like puzzle-based games, this is really good. It's on it. Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage is also one of my favorite beat-em-up games. It is a side-scrolling beat-em-up game, and you play these heroes that want to rid of crime in the city. So check out Streets of Rage if you haven't played that yet. You also have Super Hang-On. Super Hang-On almost kind of reminds me of Road Rash. So that's exactly what Super Hang-On reminds me of. It's just like a racing game. I like racing games, so that's a good as well. And you also have Revenge of Shinobi, which is the sequel to Shinobi. And it's pretty much the same thing, a side-scrolling, action-based ninja game. I love ninja games, so anything with martial arts is a good. So it's a really, really good series if you haven't played it. Those are very popular games on the Sega Genesis all in one. So I definitely recommend to pick this up.
Jen, another solid pick. I can't wait to see what you're going to pick next. Now, for me, with the Genesis, one of the things that it was always known for was sports games. There were just so many sports games out there. From Joe Montana football, Monaco GP, Buster Douglas boxing. There were a lot of different options out there. And one of the best arcade to home ports out there is this guy here, NBA Jam. And again, another one that is not super expensive if you want complete in the box. So this one you can get for $8 as the cartridge itself, $10 with a box, or about 45 bucks if you want complete. This I actually got in an auction lot that I won for 32 bucks. It had over 70 games in the tote that it came with. I got really lucky there. But this is one of those games, as a conservative, even I could appreciate the fact that you get to play as Bill Clinton. There's so many different cheat codes in here. It's awesome. The Marv Albert style announcing that's over the top. He's heating up. He's on fire from the outside. There's so many quotable lines from this game. I'm not a basketball fan at all. March Madness comes around, I don't care. But NBA Jam for the Sega Genesis, again, such a great and super fun port of this game. And this is one that I actually, even back in the day, preferred the Genesis version. Jen, what do you have next?
So the next game I want to talk about is Quackshot. Loose carts only $10, but this game is beautiful. It's pretty much Donald Duck, which the name of the game in Japan is I Love Donald Duck. And it's a platforming based game, of course, with starring Donald Duck and his 3 nephews and their treasure hunters. So it kind of reminds me of DuckTales in a way. But this is an awesome platforming game. Like I said, the graphics are amazing for its time. So I definitely recommend picking this up.
Now, before I get to my final title, I want to talk about, well, 3 additional titles and some options that you have out there if you want to inexpensively and easily add to your collection and really add some unique stuff to your collection. So what I have here, these are 3 games that Banggood.com sent to me, and they are reproduction cartridges, or in some places, custom ROMs that have been put on cartridges that specifically work for the Sega Genesis. Now, there are 3 of them that I have here. I have Fix-It Felix, because I am a huge Disney Pixar fan. If you guys haven't checked it out, make sure you check out the video up there from when I actually was down at Disney World on the 4th of July, checking out all the cool stuff that's down there. So, Fix-It Felix from Wreck-It Ralph. I'll set that one there right now. And we have Castlevania, the New Generation. And we also have Mega Man, The Wily Wars. And the cool thing about all these is they're generally not really available here in the US. For example, Fix-It Felix Jr., that's a custom ROM that someone put together after Wreck-It Ralph came out. Mega Man The Wily Wars was actually something that was available in Japan but never made its way to the US. So through cartridges like this, you can actually enjoy games that were never available normally stateside. And the nice thing about all these, like I mentioned, I got these through Banggood.com. They're really inexpensive. So Fix-It Felix and Mega Man, $5.11 each plus shipping and handling. Under $6 for, each for 2 really cool games. And the Castlevania game, under $4. $3.83 for Castlevania The New Generation. Now, I will say the label on this one didn't adhere quite right. I'm going to get some clear vinyl to put it down on the back side, clean it up a little bit just to make sure that it does go ahead and lay it properly on here. But other than that, all 3 of these games play great, they look great, and they are a ton of fun and a great way to go ahead and add to your collection. Like I say, all 3 of these games you can get for under 15 bucks, and they've got a whole lot more to choose from. Now, my final choice, if you've paid attention to the channel, I've got an NES copy, a Super Famicom copy, I've got the figure there. The open of the show was Earthworm Jim, but I'm not going Earthworm Jim. I'm going Earthworm Jim 2, and the reason being, again, trying to add to your collection at a low cost. And Earthworm Jim 2 is really an underrated title. The cartridge itself you can get for about $23, and it goes up extensively from there depending on, if you've got the manual, if you've got the box and everything. Earthworm Jim 2 is one of the most expensive games for the Sega CD, and it's not exactly cheap for the Saturn too. It was ported to both of those consoles too. If you're looking for complete in box, $170. The game with the box is generally about $60, $70 too. Earthworm Jim, just a great cartoony style side-scrolling action platformer that if you enjoy modern games like Ratchet and Clank or even, now that the re-release is out, Crash Bandicoot, you're gonna like Earthworm Jim. Voiced by, actually they had a cartoon and it was voiced by Dan Castellaneta, who does the voice for Homer Simpson for 20 plus years, whatever it is. Just a great run and gun game. For 23 bucks, you can't go wrong. Earthworm Jim, and it pains me to say this, the best versions of Earthworm Jim are actually on the Genesis because the Super NES versions, well, they were missing levels. They didn't have all the right sound effects and everything, and Nintendo even acknowledged that when they released Earthworm Jim 1 and 2 on the Wii, they actually released the Genesis versions. So that's my last pick. Jen, what do you got?
My last pick is going to be Altered Beast. Complete in box, $15. You can't go wrong. This game originally was the packing game for the Sega Genesis and eventually was replaced with Sonic the Hedgehog. But this is pretty much a side-scrolling beat-em-up game. Zeus rises you from the dead and you have to rescue his daughter Athena. So you get power-ups along the way. And when you get 3 power-ups, you actually turn into a beast. So it depends on the level, what kind of beast you turn into. It's a lot of fun. This reminds me a lot of my childhood. This is actually the second Sega Genesis game I've ever played. So definitely nostalgic for me. So this is a must-have.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there you have it. Between Jen and myself, we got you a bunch of great games for under $200 if you combine both lists. So let's look here. Let's just do some math. I've got everything down here. So with my boxed Sonic 2, with my loose copies of Streets of Rage and Ghouls and Ghosts, my boxed copy of NBA Jam, and my loose copy of Earthworm Jim 2, I'm at 84 bucks.
So all of my picks equal to about $66, well below $100. So there's so many awesome titles on the Sega Genesis. These amazing titles are just to start you off. So good luck collecting.
Get out of town. You've got some great titles there for under 200 bucks, and you can mix and match from both of our lists and get yourself a really great collection. I do want to thank Banggood.com for sending us the 3 repro games. They're really cool. Look for individual videos on those on the channel very soon. Also, definitely have to thank Gamers Tech for sending us the Mega Gen HD for review. If you haven't checked it out, the link is up there. I'll have the information down in a pinned post. You can also check out our review of the Retrobit Super Retro Trio Plus, also linked up there or down in the pinned post too. And finally, I got to thank my girl, JLuv81. Jen, I had to. Please don't beat me up.
So I want to thank Rock Solid Productions for allowing me to share my picks with you guys. It was an honor to work with Gary. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. It was a lot of fun to do this. I also want to hear back from you guys. I want to hear what your picks would have been and what you think of our picks in the comments down below. So I'm going to pass it back to Gary, and I'll see you guys later.
Again, make sure you check out my girl JLuv81. I will have her channel linked down below, up top there too. Make sure you give her a like, comment, share, and subscribe. She's just about... If she's not at 1,000 subscribers by the time we post this, there's something wrong out there, folks. Make sure you head on over there, check her stuff out. She has got a lot of great content. If you do have any questions or comments about anything that you've seen here, anything about any of these systems, anything about any of those games, as always, make sure that you leave a comment down below. Jen and I, we're going to be keeping an eye on things. We'll both be answering questions as they come in. You can also go ahead and send me an email at rocksolidmail@gmail.com. We do answer each and every one of our emails. You can also visit either Jen or I over on Twitter. I'm at Rock Solid Studios. Jen is at JLuv81. And then you can also go ahead and visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/rocksolidproductions. Let us know what you think of the videos there, if you want to see more collaborations going on and what you want to see coming up. If you do want to go ahead and help support the channel, there's a couple different ways you can do that. If you want to get yourself a t-shirt, kind of like the one I have here, make sure you head on over to our Teespring store. We've got a variety of different designs and styles, men's and women's. And Jen, I owe you a t-shirt for doing this video with me. You can also head on over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/rocksolid. For as little as $1 a month, you get early access to all of our videos, exclusive videos only that Patreons will see, and a whole lot more. And that's just at $1 a month. And don't forget too, if you've watched any of our videos recently too, I've got a good friend, his name is Gerardo. His daughter, 4-year-old Camilla, and she's going through cancer right now. Head on over to gofundme.com/Camilla-Gonzalez. They're just trying to get some help out with medical bills. Cancer sucks. I lost my mom to cancer. Cancer runs through my family. My girlfriend and my daughter's mother and a lot of people that I know, my brother, have all had cancer. If you can, just $1 will definitely help the Gerardo Gonzalez family. If you can do that, it would mean a whole lot to me. Finally, at the top of the show, we talked about how you can hook your Genesis system up using HD Retrovision cables. Now, they're a little hard to come by right now. They are coming back into stock soon. For that, head on over to CastleManiaGames.com. Visit my friend Ryan. He carries them in stock. You can check all their cool stuff out, like the HD Retrovision cables, the adapters, extensions. They've also got replacement controllers if your Genesis controller isn't working as well as it used to. They have got these super sweet Super Street Fighter 6-button controllers with Ryu on them. Super comfortable. I don't know how many more times I can say super, but it is Super Street Fighter. They are super comfortable and they're super nice, so there is that. Head on over, check them out. And the cool thing is, if you spend over 20 bucks, you get free shipping and handling in the US. And if you use promo code ROX10, you can save 10% on most items in the store. Make sure you check my friend Ryan out. So, Jen, JLuv, again, thank you so much. Guys, head to her channel, give her a thumbs up, give her a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm sure she would too. These are, you know, a ton of great games that you can get for the Sega Genesis, either the Model 1, Model 2, or any of the clones. If you're looking for a clone system, my recommendation, if all you want is the Genesis, the Gamers Tech Mini-Gen HD, it's an awesome system. The controllers rock, and it's a really good price. If you're looking for a multi-system, that's where something like the Retrobit Super Retro Trio Plus comes in, because it'll also do your NES, Super NES, and then your Genesis too. Has region-free switches, all that happy fun stuff. So I do thank you for watching. Oh, don't forget, if this is your first time here, not only to subscribe to Jen, subscribe to me. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. That way, each and every time we do come out with new content, new collaborations, new reviews, anything along those lines, you are kept up to date. So I am Gary. She's been Jen, JLuv81. We both thank you for watching, and we'll both see you real soon.